Hello and welcome to another episode of Spare Time Gardening with me, Simon. Here I am back in the greenhouse. So now we're in the beginning of February. Today's the 4th of February. So we're just going to have a quick roundup of what's happening so far. And in this episode I'll be sowing the first seeds of the season. Enjoy! Have a quick look in the greenhouse then. So here's the cornflowers, just needed a little bit of water. As you can see, they look as though a bit thirsty. The sweet williams all doing really well. And then into the greenhouse, inside the greenhouse we've got the sweet peas sown last year. We've got lupins, there's some fuchsias sown from seed, more lupins. And then we've got the snapdragons looking great. Overwintering fuchsia cuttings still doing reasonably well. This one not so much, but we might have got a bit of growth, so we'll keep an eye on that. Here we've got the hybrids. So at the back there we've got Pink Fizz and the one I call my granddad's fuchsia doing well. And here's more fuchsias from seed, still looking reasonably well, and more snapdragons. And then just on the bottom shelf, lupins, all grown from seed, sowed last year. Hopefully we can maintain the growth for this year, and hopefully we'll get some flowers from them. So let's have a quick look into the garden itself. So let's have a look in the garden. So here's the veg patch, all looking very dry and brown and dead. So here's the fuchsias grown from seed last year. Hopefully they've all overwintered alright, and we'll see them burst back into growth this year. Some perennials that I bought, cuttings of the hydrangea, just starting to put on a bit of first signs of growth. Then we've got the strawberries, still looking reasonably well. The two silver birch trees, so this one and this one, both of those are going to go down into the bottom of the garden. I'll show you where I'm going to plant those. The blackberry looks like it's starting to come back into growth. Signs of spring are on the way. And the grape, any signs of the grape putting any growth on? Not yet. Keep an eye on that. Lavender bush, still looking great. So, bottom border, rhubarb starting to come back. As you can see there, you can force rhubarb by covering it. I'm not forcing it, but you can to get an early crop. And we've got signs of the daffodils and crocuses coming back through, and I've just noticed primulas just starting to put growth on and starting to flower. So we'll get a lovely show of those. Let's have a look here, some more crocuses and daffodils coming through. Spring is definitely on its way, and what a lovely plant that is. So first of the season to flower. Let's just get rid of these dead leaves. Those out of the way, but yes, starting to flower now, looking great. So the silver birch trees are going to go in this bottom border, so I'm thinking probably around about here, and I'm going to put the other one around about here against the backdrop of what I call my granddad's fuchsia. So we'll keep watching for videos where I plant those two trees, which won't be too far away now that spring is on the way, providing the soil isn't frozen or too soggy. So nothing much happening. Side border all pretty brown. This side border next to the garage, this sweet pea, the perennial sweet pea, does have a little bit of growth. I think that's from last year. I'll cut it right back We've got some alliums coming through, but nothing else in this border apart from the tail feathers and the fuchsia. And here's some more crocuses. Lovely when they come through. Some tulips in there as well, but they're a bit early for tulips. Here we've got some daffodils and alliums, and some more daffs and alliums. If you remember from the video last year, this is the daffodil replete. A lovely flower, orange and yellow, and those are coming through on this little planter, as you can see there. So, bit of a quick roundup, quick tour. Early February, still quite cold, but things are starting to move, and we're starting to get a little bit of growth. And to be honest, I'm starting to get a little bit excited now that we're starting to plant some seeds. So I've just nipped into the garage to see how the overwintering geraniums are getting on. Looking alright, so hopefully keep these in the same semi-state for another month or so before we help them back into growth. And we'll just have a quick look at the stored dahlias. So here's the tubers, looking healthy still, no signs of mould, that's what you're looking out for. Let's have a look at this one's. Yep, no signs of mould, so storing really well, and it'll be soon. We'll pop them in pots with some compost, start them into early growth, and then you can use some of that material for increasing your stock by taking cuttings. Just having a look at the stored tubers of begonias. These are apricot shades, all looking healthy still. And I've still got another box here, no signs of mould, and it'll be towards the end of February that I'm going to start these into growth. Some people start them around about Valentine's Day. I'm probably going to wait until about the end of February, and then we'll start them off, and hopefully we'll be able to try our luck at taking some cuttings from these early growth of the tubers to increase our stock, because you'll know from earlier videos that I lost quite a few of the apricot shades begonias due to vine weevil. So hopefully we can increase our stock that way rather than having to buy them. Right, so the 4 seeds I'm going to sow today are Petunia bedding mix, Petunia multifloral, Lobelia crystal palace, and geraniums. So those are the 4 we're going to sow this early in the season, which is the beginning of February. So I'll do the petunias in one tray, and I'll do share them across, and I'll do geraniums probably on their own, and lobelia, and I might even put some lavender in. I think I've got some room, so I'll stick some lavender in as well. So I'm using Wilco's sowing and cutting compost. It's what I've used in the past for the last few years. Works a treat. A couple of trays, and they're going to go in the heated propagator. So let's just fill a couple of trays up first of all. Looks quite nice compost, that. It smells really nice as well. Some people joke and say, how do you smell compost? What should it smell like? It just has a rich smell to it. Shouldn't smell awful. Not that you have to sniff compost. You'll know from previous videos I've mixed this with vermiculite or perlite I'm not going to do that this year, we're just going to see how we get on without. We don't need to fill the trays right up to the top. Okay. What you can do is use the base of another tray if you want, just to pat that down. It's not essential. So let's do the petunias first. So we've got the multifloral and the bedding mix. So just open the packet and then, if you can see these are minute seeds. You might just be able to make them out just there. Quite generous. So make a line down the middle. And then I'm just going to tap them in. Next is going to be the bedding mix. Again, these seeds are tiny. Quite generous again. And then just tap them in. I just use the crease of my hand just as a tray. And I'm just going to save those. Should always do multiple sowings. So that's the multifloral and the bedding mix. So just to get a label. There's a label that I've used a couple of years ago. It still says Petunia on it. So I'm going to know that that way is the multifloral, and this way is the bedding mix, and of course the date, 4th of February 2018. And we'll just pop that label in there. A little bit of compost to go over the top. Not too much. And that'll just go into some water in a little while. So that's the petunia done. And this one we shall do Lobelia and the geranium, I think. or I might put Lobelia and lavender together. I'll put geranium on their own because these are quite large seeds. So these are the geranium F2 mixed. So we should be able to see quite a big difference in the size of the seeds compared to the Petunia. As you can see, much bigger seeds. And because these are bigger, I'm going to purposely place them. Some people sow these in individual plugs. Well, I'm just going to start these off in seed compost, and then when they're bigger we'll transplant them. I'm going to plant all of these, as there's only 20 seeds. I'm just going to cover those over. I'll just tamp them down. As with the other ones, we'll just water them from underneath. So let's grab a label. So geranium and today's date. I'll just put that in like so. That's geranium. And we're just going to do another little tray now just for the lavender and lobelia. So the lobelia first. These are again extremely tiny seeds. I'm just going to tap them in over the compost. You can always transplant them. And those you don't cover with compost, you just leave them because they need light to germinate. So that's Lobelia again, 4th of February 18. Sorry, a label I already had. Put that down there. And on this side, we'll then put some lavender in. compost all the lavender seeds. And these you do want to cover with some compost. And we'll just write a label for that. And there you go. Those just need putting in water now just to soak up. We'll put them in the heated propagator and we'll keep checking on them and see how they do. So you might have seen in early videos these plug plants I bought from Thompson & Morgan. They have been certainly done before last year, before this year, and they don't seem to be putting on much growth, so I'm going to use some of this, which is Wilco's multi-purpose compost, because this compost that this is in feels a little bit too coarse, and that's why I don't think they're growing very well. So I'm going to transplant them and see if we can encourage them into some better growth. So I've got some trays. Let's fill these up. This certainly seems much more fibrous. This might be better. Shall see. Plenty of roots. There you go, all transplanted. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button, and please feel free to leave your comments and feedback below. I'd love to hear from you, so don't be shy, and of course I'll reply. See you soon.